Hello, everybody. Welcome back to CapComicsNow. I'm your host, Mike Cap. Guys, we got it. We fought for years, months. It felt like it was never going to happen, but it finally did. This past Thursday, we were given Zack Snyder's Justice League in its full glory. How we were meant to see it from the very beginning without the interference of a studio, without the interference of piece of shit executives who were just in it for the money. We got it as we fans were meant to see it. And guys, let me tell you how amazing I thought, not only me, but many people around the world believed this film to be. I'm going to go out on a limb, no spoilers, and say that this was the greatest comic book film that has ever been made to this date. You guys, not everybody may agree with me on that, but in my opinion, this exceeded every single one of my expectations. And honestly, I cannot wait for more. And I know that we are getting more. Okay? So, couple of quick things. This is a non-spoiler review. I will not be posting a spoiler review because I know a lot of people have yet to see the movie. There are people in other countries besides the U.S. and other, other countries who were able to see it, but there still are a few who have not. And whether it's because you've been working or because you've had other things, you've been busy, or if you just haven't had time to see it yet, this is for you guys, so you guys can watch it so you guys can watch this video without being spoiled, because I will not spoil anything. I want to hear everybody's reaction when they see things that happen. So let's start out by saying this is an entirely different movie. An entirely different movie. Yes, the skeleton may still have some similar aspects. Steppenwolf comes to Earth in search of the mother boxes. Batman's got to put a team together to try and stop them. They wake up Superman. All right, the skeleton may be similar, but this is in fact a different movie. We're getting so many more scenes, so many scenes that are more fleshed out. We're getting character arcs. I care about these characters now. I cared about them in the beginning because I loved this story. I love the characters, but now with Zack's vision, I truly understand what these characters and who they are. I truly believe now that I know who Victor Stone is. I know who Barry Allen is. I know who Arthur Curry is. I know who Bruce Wayne has become, and I know who Diana Prince has become. And now we know who Steppenwolf is. We know who Darkseid is. We know who Desaad is. We know what they're all about now. Okay? Now, the chapters flowed. I had my reservations part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I'm not going to lie. It flowed. It fit. Every chapter break fit. It was a perfect, that ended, and now we start another one. And when that ended, we started another one. Everything flowed. Nothing was forced. And I like how they did how Snyder separated each part with the next act of the movie. So I know that seems like a little self-explanatory and redundant, but just how part 1 started and finished, and then we went to a new topic. But it's not like they were throwing information at us and we had to catch it. It was more, this is what it is. This is what we're talking about now. Now that we've educated you here, now we're going to try and educate you here. I have to say that everything flowed. For 4 hours, it did not feel like 4 hours. Honestly, I watched it now 3.5 times. After this video, I'm going to go back and finish the 4th time. Each time I watch this movie, it gets better and better and better. It does not feel like 4 hours. And honestly, I could probably feel like he could have went a little more on his time. I want to see the full 5 hours that he rumored that was 5 hours when he first shot it. I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see what the full 5-hour picture was going to look like. But that's an argument for another day. No one's going to complain about it. Okay, so now we are going to break down characters who personally, these are just my feelings, who impressed me the most. My favorite characters throughout the film in order. I'm going to number one, we're going to start with Batman. And And look, however you felt about Batman in this film, we didn't get to see him as much as everybody else. Batman will always be my favorite. He's been my favorite since I was 2 years old. I had Batman show up to my parents hired an actor to play Batman, dress up in the bat suit, and showed up to my third birthday party. They were in a Michael Keaton suit. I've been in love with Batman since back when I can remember. He's always been my favorite, but I honestly enjoy how it wasn't really Batman in this movie. It was Bruce Wayne. It was Bruce Wayne's. This movie, yes, was the revival of Superman, but in very much it's Bruce Wayne's story, and it's a story of him having to overcome what he's done in BVS, just the what he's created for himself, and how he is willing to see himself in the future. So it was. Batman will always be my favorite. Cyborg, okay, Cyborg was. I knew Ray Fisher was a very talented actor. I knew it from the first Justice League film. I knew he was talented, even though it wasn't what he was actually supposed to be. I believed Ray Fisher to be the true Cyborg. Always did. And now he just confirmed it for me. And I'm sure he confirmed it for a lot of you. Ray Fisher's Cyborg was truly the most powerful, not just physically, because we all know how physically powerful. I mean, the guy's a human machine, literally. Physically powerful, that's great. I'm talking about the emotional and psychological and the presence, just the power he brings to this role. It was by far the most moving performance throughout the whole picture. And how anybody could have cut him out of this film is mind-boggling. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to tell everybody that if you're truly a fan of Cyborg, you are going to love, and I mean absolutely love, what Ray Fisher does. And it just goes to show you just how much one man's story can truly make or break a film. And this Ray Fisher's Cyborg story truly made this film for a lot of people. And Ray, I'm not saying that you are watching this, but if you do watch this, I thank you, and everybody else thanks you. Ray Fisher is my Cyborg, and I truly hope that we get to see more of Ray Fisher. Not just because he's such a good, just the emotion he brings to the role. Just he's very genuine, and it's not something you can fake either. Good acting is not something you can fake. A genuine person, a genuine character is not something you fake. Ray Fisher's got it all. And honestly, Ray, hats off to you, man. The scenes with him and his father, his parents, it's heartbreaking. I shed a tear more than once. I'm not ashamed to say that. Okay, now, next guy who was my favorite, The Flash. I did not think I would like The Flash as much as I did. And not to say that I don't like The Flash, because look, let's be real. The Flash is the original speedster. He is. Barry Allen is the original speedster. No, I don't care who copied who came first. Barry Allen is the original speedster. Barry Allen will always be the Flash. Always be the Flash. And he was really chopped up and hacked up by the Whedon cut. It just they changed him so much from what this performance was. And honestly, I have a new respect for Ezra Miller now, because he made Barry Allen. He is Grant Gustin on the show. He's very good. I'm a huge fan of Grant Gustin. I'm a huge fan of the CW of just Arrow and Flash shows. Not a huge fan of anything else. It gets too campy after a while. But I will say that Ezra Miller is Barry Allen to me. He blew everybody else out of the water. His take on Barry Allen, he's younger. He's just figuring himself out. So he's not going to be at the level of Batman, a Wonder Woman, a Superman. He's still trying to figure himself out. He's trying to figure out, and I like how he's He's still not used to these powers, so he's a little clumsy. He's not comical clumsy. He's clumsy how you or I would be if we were trying to get used to these powers, how a regular person would be, because he was a regular person and he got made into this. So I like how Ezra Miller brought a reality to the Flash. Now, Wonder Woman. Guys, Gal Gadot, you all know how I feel about her. You all know that I believe her to be the most perfect creature on God's earth. She is. She is stunning. She's powerful. She's forceful. She walks onto the screen, and you're glued to whatever she does. And not because of how gorgeous she is, but just she commands you to look at her. Not by by anything she says, just her presence on screen. It's just you want to look at her. You want to pay attention to her. She's a very powerful figure in this film. And her relationship with her past, her relationship with her present, and her relationship with the future are very much in play in this film. I also like how we are now seeing Zack's true Wonder Woman. This is Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman. She is, with all due respect to Patty Jenkins, she's a great filmmaker. I was a huge fan of Wonder Woman, the first one. Wonder Woman 84, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what we anticipated that it would be. And maybe a part of that is on us for having an expectation so high. Maybe it was because the pandemic affected it, or maybe it was just because the fact that Jeff Johns is such a shitty writer. Who knows? No one at the end of the day can really tell. But I do not believe Wonder Woman 84 was as bad as everybody makes it out to be. However, Zack's Wonder Woman, like I said, with all due respect to Patty, I love what she did. I love how she created Wonder Woman for herself. But what Zack did with Wonder Woman has made her an icon, a true, powerful. There's nothing wrong with having the best of both worlds. There's nothing wrong with her being a symbol for peace, but also needing to be an ass kicker when the time comes. And today, watching this movie, she is a symbol for hope and peace, for love and peace rather, but also a symbol for badassness, and she can get down and brawl with the best of them if the situation needs her to. And I like that we were able to see that. Okay, Aquaman. Aquaman, I loved the origin for Aquaman. This was, to me, James Wan's movie really introduced who Aquaman was. But here we get to see who he was before Aquaman, before he truly accepted who he is, before he truly understood his power as well. Because, look, Arthur's still trying to figure himself out here too. He's not Aquaman yet. He's Arthur Curry. Yes, Bruce refers to him as Aquaman in the trailer, and in the film he does. That's not a spoiler. He does refer to him as Aquaman, but he's not really Aquaman yet. He's really much this hot-headed, wise ass, and I like that. He's a lot like you or I would be if we were caught in between one place and the other. So, Jason Momoa is Aquaman. And here he's a true badass. He's not making jokes. He's not overtly angry for no reason. He's not overtly rebellious for no reason. He just is, and I like that. Now, I saved this one for last only because he's really not in it as much as the rest of them are, and that's Superman. And it's not that I like him the least, it's just that he wasn't in it so long. So the movie wasn't really about him. Yes, it was about him and them having to come together and him being the reason that they all come together. But the movie is more about the rest of the league than it is about Superman. But when Superman does return, he's the game changer. He's in his crisp black suit. He's got more power. We finally see the ice breath done properly, We finally see Ice Breath done properly. This is the first time that he's done it. I don't count Joss Whedon's Justice League. I'm not counting that, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm not counting it. That film, as far as I'm concerned, did not happen. I'm sorry. Okay? We see him do Ice Breath for the first time, and he kind of, it's quick, it's subtle. Like I said, guys, it's not really a spoiler because we've already seen it before in Joss Whedon's, but this is done properly. This is how it should have been done. And the way that Whedon did it, guys, let's be real here. He hacked it up. But he's not really in it so long, but what he does bring to this role, or to the little bit of the film that he's in, he does bring, when he comes back, wow, it's very hopeful. Like, he truly brought all the hope. Like, he did. He brought all the hope. It did not look like they were going to win until Superman comes. And even when he did come, ooh, who knows? But Henry Cavill as Superman, there is no other Superman. There will never be another Superman right now. There will be no one who can do it like he can. He truly makes us believe that this is happening now, that this all happened now, and there is a reason why Superman is atop the mountain of DC. There is a reason, and Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder explain that in this film. Excuse me. Okay, now moving on real quick, we've got the Amazons. This is Zack Snyder's Amazons. He's made Amazons again. Look at this. It's just like everything. It reminds me of 300. What they did, what Zack did with the Amazons reminds me a lot of 300. And just how much of warriors they are. Yes, they were portrayed a little sexier, but sexier because it was hot to see. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It was hot to see all of those fit, muscular women just fight and defend, their home. It was really, guys. I loved it. It was like a female 300. It was sexy, but it was sexy in the right way, not forced. I thought it was sexy because, hey, I have a thing for strong women, but what can I say? The history lesson, a lot better. Just everything from the setup to the explanation to the narration to the portrayal to the CGI, everything was amazing. The big three: Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Darkseid. This is a villain trio with 3 villains, 3 films, 3 villains. These three big villains. Zack Snyder has created an entire universe with just 3 villains. Has created an entire universe. Has opened an entire scope of possibilities that could come in. Steppenwolf, I felt bad for him. I never thought I'd say it. I thought I was gonna hate the character, or hate who he was, because he's the villain. You're supposed to hate the villain. But I found myself feeling sorry for Steppenwolf. I found myself relating to Steppenwolf, and that is a good villain. Snyder did this villain justice. We got a character who we cared for, even though he was an evil prick. We still cared about him. Desaad, ooh, you can tell Desaad is stirring the pot. I'm not going to say anything else, but you can tell Desaad is still the pot stirrer. And Darkseid is Darkseid. Ray Porter did a phenomenal job. Nobody could have done Darkseid the way that Ray Porter did. Ray Porter is Darkseid. And his performance makes me not only want to see Justice League's not want to see it. I need to see Justice League's 2 and 3, but I also need Ray Porter in the New Gods movie. Okay, let's be real. There is no other person who could play Darkseid the way that Ray Porter did. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Warner Brothers says. I don't care what Hamada says. I don't care what Ann Sarnoff says. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care what Toby Emmerich says. Nobody will play Darkseid the way that Ray Porter did, and that's a goddamn fact. Okay, I'm saving the best for last. The Nightmare. Guys, the nightmare stuff, we don't get to see a lot of it. It's a little bit sporadic. It's in and out. And we do not get to see a lot of it. But what we do get to see, it's just a tease. It is a very big tease. And it's unfair if it stops here. That's all I'm going to say. Jared Leto's Joker, Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke, all teaming with Batman. You can't beat that. The writing of this film, absolutely amazing. And for someone to sit there and tell me, look me in the eye, and tell people that Snyder doesn't understand these characters, you're full of it. You're full of shit, and you don't know what you're talking about. If you still think that after this film, that Snyder doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't know anything about these characters, you're full of shit and you're a liar. And you don't know anything about these characters. Sorry. Plain and simple. I don't care what any YouTuber, any blogger, any journalist, quote-unquote journalist, quote-unquote YouTuber, quote-unquote blogger, I don't care what any of them say. If you still say that this movie was bad, or that you think Snyder doesn't know these characters, it's a personal problem, and you need to be evaluated, because you might actually be friggin' crazy. And that's your own problem, honestly. Now, real quick, the last thing I'm going to say, restore the Snyderverse, because we need it. You cannot end this franchise right here, and it's not. And honestly, the rumors swirling the last 2 days, I really don't think they are going to end it right here. Because let's be real, guys. Let's be real. I've said it since day one. AT&T, Warner Media, HBO Max, they're not going to invest. No company will invest $70 million on a one and done. It's unheard of. They just don't do it. We're getting it. There is a demand for it. And if there is a demand for it, that means it's going to happen. And it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Expect an announcement. I don't have scoopers, so I can't say it for sure. I don't have inside people. I don't speak to Hollywood. I say this multiple times every video that I put up. I go by a logic perspective. I studied film in college. This is my logic. A studio, no matter who it is not going to invest $70 million for a movie that was on the shelf for 3 years for a one and done. They're not going to. Warner Brothers can cry and bitch and scream and moan all they want. AT&T calls the shots. Warner Media calls the shots. And if they say Snyder's a go for Justice League 2, it's going to happen. How anybody could have said no to this movie is beyond me. I don't understand, and I'll never understand. It's pure psychosis. There's no way that you're in your right mind if you said no to this movie. Unreal. And now Warner Brothers is paying for it now. They're paying for it. They literally shot themselves in the foot. It's their own fault. They want it to be stupid, so now we're going to fight back. And that's how it's going to be. Restore the Snyderverse, guys. We need it. We need Ben Affleck's Batman. We need the Jared Leto Joker series. We need Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke series. We need Justice Leagues 2 and 3. We need Wonder Woman 3, directed by Zack Snyder. Or at least, for the very least, written by Zack Snyder. All right, guys. That has been my spoiler-free review. All right? If you like this video and want to see more of what I post, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified every time I upload. Hit that little notification bell, what have you, whatever. Restore the Snyderverse. Also, let me know down in the comment section what your favorite part of this movie was. No spoilers, just in case people haven't seen it yet, so do not post spoilers. But let me know down in the comment section, no spoilers, what your favorite part of this movie was. And let me know if you're excited, if you're hyped, if you're ready for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 because it's coming. Don't listen to any people out there who are going to say it's not coming. They don't know what they're talking about. How many people out there who said it never existed, and here it was, we saw it. So those same people are going to say Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 is not happening. They're full of shit. Of course it's happening. We just need to make it happen. Guys, restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag it all goddamn weekend. Let's get it done. I want to thank everybody for joining me. This edition of Cap Comics Now. Comment, like, subscribe. At 500 subscribers, I am going to give away the coolest prize I could think of right now. It's a very cool prize. I actually am considering buying a second one for myself because these are pretty damn cool. I do have the original. I will say I have the original, but this new updated one I kind of want for myself because I like him too. Now, at 500 subscribers, I'm giving this prize away. We're going to hold a raffle, and I'm giving it away to the raffle winner. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell even the people you don't like to come follow and subscribe and listen to what we talk about. Let's have a conversation. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. If I missed something, let me know. If you want me to talk about something, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do so. Guys, I'm a man of the people. I like hearing your thoughts because the more thoughts and the more information we have, the more educated we can be. All right? Guys, Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And if you have watched it, go watch it again. Let's break all the records. Let's make AT&T, HBO Max, Warner Media, let's give them no choice. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.